I'm back. Been a while, hasn't it? So, I thought to celebrate this momentous return, we're just going to hang out and we're going to talk about anything and everything. We're going to let it roll. Here we go. Okay, so what have I been up to? What have you been up to? What have we as a collective been up to? Well, I mean, we as in like collective America, I feel like we've kind of been spiraling downwards. The economic divide is just getting worse and worse and more disgusting, but partially it gives me a little bit of hope because things gotta get worse before they get better, and I feel like we are as like the closest that we have been to class consciousness in a really long time. If you haven't seen it, check out Drew Gooden's most recent video that just came out recently that was really well researched, and it's a really good way to introduce these seemingly radical ideas to a lot of people who may disagree with them. If you don't and agree with it and you think that all these billionaires they need to have all that extra money because they need the yacht, you can suck a fat one. Fuck, I don't know what to talk about next. We were talking about what we've been up to. Well, I haven't uploaded in about a month, and I think the last time I uploaded was a long time ago. That last video was one that I had recorded a long time ago, and I just had it on the back burner, and I low-key didn't want to release it because it was kind of dark and a little depressing, and I was like, you know what, just upload it, because I had nothing else. I haven't recorded a video in since October, I think. So I didn't record for all of November. The last big thing I was doing was being a scare actor at Halloween Horror Nights. I had a lot of fun with that. It was really great. I got to meet a lot of people, a whole lot of 6-7s, you know how it goes. And then, that contract ended in early November, and about for the rest of November, I was just really hitting it. I was grinding in that, trying to get another trigger warning here. J-O-B. That's right. I was trying to get a job because, currently I do a lot of contract work, but it's not enough to keep me busy all the time. And I realized that that lack of routine was just putting me in a space that I felt very stagnant in. But, I did get to do some cool stuff with my jobs that I do work right now. I got to go to Atlanta for the first time for some videography stuff. That was really cool. I was there for a week. Then I came back. I visited my girlfriend who lives about 300 or so miles away from where I do. So that's, it sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do for the old L word. And all the while, I've just been on that grind. I've been on that LinkedIn grind. I've been on that Backstage grind. If you don't know what Backstage is, it's this platform where you can get entertainment jobs, especially acting stuff. But I'm trying to do acting just because it's kind of fun. I do it here and there. Editing stuff just because it's something that I really like to do, and ideally I would like to, make a career in post-production if I just feel like it's a very interesting part of the production pipeline that's very important, and also I am pretty decent at it, I think. I just like to do it, man, and with great comes great what? Pause. I changed up my approach because before, when I would apply to jobs, I was just kind of submitting applications blindly, just dry, being oh, here's my application, and it was not panning out. I would not really get responses. Most of the time I just get ghosted, nothing. But I kind of started beefing up my resume a little bit more time at these other jobs, better portfolio style, the way that I formatted my portfolio. I redid my resume in Canva, and it's just so much more appealing to look at now. So there's a lot more color in it. There's a headshot. There's a QR code that you could scan that'll take you to my reel. So now it's it was kind of working. And now instead of just doing a dry apply, I am trying to do something that I actually hate doing, and I find it really annoying, is reaching out to people and making connections. LinkedIn, as much as I hate it, it's kind of a necessity in today's job landscape of having to connect with people, send people emails, because if you look at how many people are actually applying to a single job, it's literally hundreds of people, sometimes thousands of people. So it's you have like a 1 in like 600 chance to get this job. And so it's like, what are the odds that you're even going to get interviewed? Or what are the odds that your application is even going to get seen so they can consider giving you an interview? So to get around that, you have to kind of, message people who work there, message the recruiters, and like really, really try your hardest to be like, hey, just look at it. Give me a job. But anyway, why have I not been uploading, a lot of videos lately? Because I haven't been that busy. I don't even work like a full-time job. But I just have been trying to get a job, my full-time job. And it's kind of working out, I recently signed this contract to become a videography teacher for after school. And it's not huge. It's not even that many hours. It's like once a week. But still, making progress. And I'm actually starting to get more interviews now than I was before once I switched up my strategy, which is cool, getting one step closer instead of one step closer to the edge. Let me tell you a little story about how I just royally f***ed up this interview. So the way that, the interview landscape is changing now is that a lot of like companies that are hiring, okay, sorry, that was gross. A lot of people that are hiring are not actually even doing like in-person interviews or like, Zoom video call interviews or even phone call interviews. They don't have time for that because so many people are trying to get jobs. So a lot of the times you will have like an AI screener interview or like a recorded interview. So I did this one for this, it was an overnight production assistant gig at this like sports network, and I was a perfect fit for it because of my background, like work that I did in college, work that I'm doing now. And I was like, oh my god, I'm perfect. I have so much like experience in working sports broadcasting, entertainment stuff. And it was really strange because you had to sit down. You sit down in front of your camera, your laptop, whatever, and then it tells you a question, and then you have like a minute to prepare, and then you have 3 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes to answer, and then it like sends the recording. But you only get one shot in these recordings. So I aced the first question and then do pretty good on the second one, the third one, and I'm doing great. And I'm like, I'm feeling so good, so confident. And then this final question, they throw this curveball at me. They were like, what's a recent NFL headline that really caught your eye? And like, what do you think it is? And I was like, fuck, dude, I don't know. I went to a different tab in the 1 minute that I had to prepare, and I searched like headline, and I found something about like, oh, this like a Tony Romo or some shit. His like stats are gonna get surpassed by this one guy, and I was like, okay, I'll talk about that. And then I go back to the tab where I have my recording thing, and I click the start recording button, but I realize after I click that it had started recording already because I had been researching for 1 minute and 1 second. So my prep time ran out. So instead of hitting record, I actually hit stop recording. And that was it. So basically I just submitted like a 1 or 2 second clip of me like staring blankly for that last question. And I haven't heard back from them since. So, I was crushed afterwards because I felt like this was finally my chance to get a job that I, could like actually be pretty decent at and would fit well for me. And I felt like I just totally blew it. But, I only cried a little bit, and I was like, everything's terrible. I'm stupid. I ruined everything. But, it's really not that bad. I was able to pick myself up by I was like, I need to leave this apartment. So I skated down to my local park, and the sunset was beautiful. And, eyes were still a little hot. Like the blood was still a little boiling. And I just, skated around. The sunset was beautiful. And I went over to this like walking trail that goes over a bridge, and I saw like the most beautiful, picturesque sky. Like the sky was like red and orange and like pink and a little bit green. And I was like, oh my god, that is beautiful. And I thought to myself, maybe it's not so bad. And I got up on the edge of the bridge and I sat down. And I was just looking out, and I was listening to music, and I was thinking, wow, I am never, ever going to kill myself. And I was just thinking, like, no matter how bad things get, suicide is never, ever, like, a good option. Like, you just gotta, like, think about the little things, and just think about how people do care about you, even people that you don't know. Nobody wants anyone to commit suicide, so don't do it. It's a terrible idea, terrible idea always. And it's just those little moments that, like, keep you here. It's like, I need to experience these things to keep me here. And then I was getting emotional because I was thinking about how a lot of people don't have that realization, and they can't find it within themselves to keep going. And, like, I understand, because it is very difficult, but like, everyone has it in them to keep going. You just have to find it and foster that little flame. But yeah, anyway, to continue the story, I'm sitting there enjoying the beautiful view, thinking, damn, I am never, ever going to do that to myself or the people around me. And then I see these cop car speeding up with the lights on, and it, like, pulls to the side really quickly. And I was like, oh, damn. And then this cop gets out, and he's like, hey, what are you doing up there? And I was like, uh-oh. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm about to get a ticket for trespassing or whatever. And then I realized, wait a minute, I've been sitting wistfully on this bridge, like, looking at the sunset, and I was like, someone called the cops on me because they thought I was gonna jump. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. And it's just ironic, because that is the last thing that I wanted to do in that moment. And the cop was like, come down here. And he drove down to the other side. And then they talked to me, and they were like, so what were you doing up there, bro? And I was like, I was enjoying the view, man, like, actually. And then they explained to me, it's like, hey, don't do that, because people jump off that bridge all the time. And I was like, damn. But low-key, the bridge is only, like, 12 feet off the ground. That's just not going to kill anybody. So I was like, I can survive that fall, like, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is that people in your community care about you. I care about you. And you should care about yourself, because nobody is ever going to understand you the way you do. So you need to be kind to yourself and the people around you. So, it's been a while, but we're back. We're back in action. We're going to be doing the Spotify Wrapped reaction. So, everybody, DM me on Instagram, or send me an email of your Spotify Wrapped, and I'm going to be looking at them and making fun of them with love. So yeah, thank you for sticking around to the end, and sticking around and watching just all the content on this channel. If you feel so inclined, please like this video, share it around, subscribe. I'm sorry if you don't like burping, that's probably really gross. Yeah, that's about it. Bye-bye.